new adventure. Here we go, week one. We're gonna start off in a side plank. So we did this in the last one. We're gonna make sure that we're standing up, just tipped over to the side. And where I wanna go from here is we're gonna take this top leg without moving anything in here. We're gonna lift up and put back down. A couple points, don't try to turn that toe up. We wanna actually try to lift the heel up first. Lift and then lower. Don't lift and drop. Lift and lower. Pay attention to your feet. We don't want to get our feet here like that. We don't want to do funny things. We don't want to stack our feet weird. We want our ankles kind of on the ground. Stand it up, lift, down. Lift, down. Be careful not to rotate here. Be careful not to shift the hips back. All right? Then we're going to get 2 kettlebells. Maybe we're going to have one. All right, we're going to get 2 kettlebells. We're going to sit down in a low stance with our butt down to the ground with our kettlebells out in front here. Notice how I'm holding that top corner. The kettlebells are out in front, my butt's down, my chest is up. Find your whole foot. So pushing everything to the ground. My toes, my heel, brace that core, row to your hips, set back down. Row to your hips, set back down. You're going to tap the ground with the kettlebells each rep. Row, set back down. Lose that momentum. Notice how my body is not moving. You're going to have a lot of force that wants to pull you forward and back. We don't want to get swinging a lot like that. We want to pull, row here, pull. Now we're going to do 8 to 10 reps. On your last rep, we're going to 8, 9, we're going to hold, 10, hold, 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 5 seconds, and you're out. After that, we're going to move on to our push-up. I love if we have something to elevate us. This could be parallettes like this. This could be dumbbells. Whatever you have is fine. We're going to really emphasize the core here. Make sure that your pelvis isn't rounded like this. Make sure you're not sinking. Make sure you're not way up here as well. This is a safer position. This might cause you some issues, and this is probably what you're going to default to. Make sure you keep that pelvis tucked, rotate it back in a nice neutral position. Hold with your abs, especially those lower abs that you've been working on. Pull yourself down, press yourself out. Pull yourself down, press yourself out. We want to focus on the shoulder blades coming together as you lower, going apart as you press out. Coming together as you lower, pressing out as you go up. We also want to keep those elbows tight to our side. We don't want to have our elbows way out here. We want to bring them in here. It's going to do 2 things. It's going to keep our shoulder happy, and it's also going to get our chest and tricep more involved instead of those rotator cuff muscles. So it's going to help us out a lot performing the exercise correctly. Engaging your core and keeping those elbows in is also going to make this more challenging. So it's going to be a harder push-up. If we need to start elevating, that's okay, that's fine, no big deal. Just work your way up. Do not start from your knees. Keep your feet on the ground, not your knees, and elevate your body. Use a barbell in a squat rack, use plyo boxes, use a bench, that's fine. But we want to try to work our way lower to the ground. So anytime, we're going to do 8 to 10 reps here. As soon as 3 sets of those 8 to 10 reps become somewhat easy, let's lower ourselves back down to the ground. If you're on the ground and you're already easy, we'll take that eccentric and lower ourselves down more slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we can either push back up or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 down. Reset. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So we're going to perform 3 rounds of that for the first week, and then we'll go back up to 4. So we've got our side plank with leg raises. We'll do 8 to 10 there. We're going to do 8 to 10 rows, holding that last rep for 5 seconds. And then we've got 8 to 10 reps on our push-ups as well. Again, first week do 3 rounds. The week after that, try to go to 4, and then we'll do 4 for the subsequent. Second round, we're going to have a kettlebell squat. So I'm going to suggest starting with like a 35-pound kettlebell. We can move up as we're comfortable with it. It's very important that we keep this pelvis still, especially in the transition from down to up. I've got us set up on some blocks. If you've got blocks, that's great. We only need these if we're able to get low enough to the ground that the kettlebell is going to hit. If you don't have blocks, we can just set up some bumper plates, that's fine too, or boxes, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're just trying to get a little more clearance to the ground if you need it. We'll hold the kettlebell tight to our body. I like to get a big exhale at the top, set that pelvis, and we're gonna think of our pelvis being part of our torso. And we're gonna pull ourselves down, and that pelvis is not gonna change position. I'm trying to reach the kettlebell back between my heels and keep my chest up, and then drive out. Pull yourself down, 3, 2, 1, up. 3, 2, 1, up. When we get to the bottom here, and then go up, so from here, and then that transition up, we need to really focus on bracing this low core. We don't want to see any squat and then dumping of that pelvis forward like that. We want to keep this still so that it doesn't dump. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, down, straight up again, reaching that kettlebell back while keeping the chest up. We're going to do 10 reps, and on rep number 10, so 9, and then 10, we're gonna hold right here. Holding that brace real hard, right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, drop the weight and stand up, okay? We're thinking about pulling ourselves down from our hip flexors here and keeping that pelvis in line with our ribs. Take your time on this, descend slowly. Then, we're gonna grab a light medicine ball. We've got a 6-pound ball. We're gonna get in a split stance here. I want our weight a little bit biased towards the front, but not much, okay? And then we're gonna start the ball high on the front side. So my left foot's in front, I start the ball high, chop down, chop up, chop down, chop up. I'm gonna go full speed now. We wanna move very aggressively. We wanna pull that ball through, rip it through, keep that weight up towards that front leg. Boom. I'm trying to keep my lower body still while I move that upper body. We're gonna do 12 chops there, then we'll switch feet. Right foot in front, get this back knee down towards the ground. So we wanna be careful of standing up like this. Drop that back knee almost to the ground. Start on the front side high, chop down. Keeping that lower body still. Suggestion to be active with your feet. Have those toes grab the ground. If you wanna do this barefoot, that's great. Whatever you're doing, grab the ground, especially that front foot. Keep that lower body still, chop hard, 10 to 12 each side. Give yourself a couple minutes to rest, back in it. Again, we can pump this weight up if you're able to keep that pelvis still. That's gonna be kind of our barometer for sure we move up or not. If you can keep that pelvis still and come back up, let's do it. If that pelvis is starting to move a little bit or the core feels weak, stay at that weight or even drop it down a little bit. Perform these, execute these perfectly. And then we have 12 chops on each side. We'll get 3 rounds on the first week and then 4 rounds on the subsequent weeks. All right, so for our last little strength circuit, we're gonna do a lateral shuffle. So we're gonna start moving to the right. I'm gonna push off my left foot. I'm gonna push off, push off, push off. Now, you all have all these hills. If you have the opportunity to push up a hill, I want you to kind of go. I want you to get 10 to 12 of these. But if you're in a short space, that's fine too. We can do 3 quick this way, and then 3 quick back the other direction. Whatever we're doing, I want to push off the opposite foot of the direction we're going. So if I'm moving right, push off left, push off left, push off left. If I'm moving left, we're going to push off right. Notice when I come back, I don't bring my feet together. I push off, and then the closest they get is my athletic stance, my hip width apart. I'm staying on my toes, and my core's job is to make sure that pelvis doesn't move around all over the place. So we're trying to stay still, boom, boom, boom. 3 quick movements, then back up. If you can do this uphill, that just gives us a little more resistance. It's a little more fun. It also actually keeps us a little safer because it limits how fast we can go. But start off easy with this, warm up into it, okay? Then, we're gonna grab 2 kettlebells. We're gonna do a farmer's carry, all right? So, try to get about holding where 35 to 40% of your body weight, and we can work all the way up to 50, 60% of your body weight. We're gonna hold right here on our sides. We're gonna take nice, controlled steps. Notice how the kettlebells aren't moving around. They're not flying around everywhere. I'm not slinging them like this. I'm taking a nice intentional step, thinking about heel strike, rolling to the outside and pushing off the big toe. Heel strike, roll the outside of the foot and push off the big toe. I keep my posture nice and tall. Don't let your shoulders round. Feel your core. Again, keep that pelvis still. And then those legs propel our body and the kettlebells through. So we have a heel strike, we roll kind of the outside of the foot, and then we push off, and then we have a nice big hip extension. So our hamstrings and our butt push off, and then we're reaching forward with that other foot into our heel strike. So the hamstrings and the glutes push while the core keeps the pelvis still, our upper body, our tricep, our lats are keeping the kettlebell still while we're moving through space. Again, we can walk uphill, that's a lot of fun. We want to try to walk about 50 to 60 yards, maintaining breathing through our nose, keeping that core engaged, keeping those kettlebells still. We'll do that 3 sets, 4 on the subsequent weeks, and that'll round out this first workout of the week.